101 veterans of the ANC at Irene near Pretoria today. Earlier this month, the veterans spoke out about their concerns over the declining state of the country, calling on the ANC to hold an early conference to elect a new leadership. The group had requested to meet the party leadership to discuss the downward spiral following the recent loss in the local government elections. For the first time since 1994, the governing party lost 3 major metros to the opposition, the DA. Frank and robust debate expected when the ANC stalwarts finally meet with the party leadership led by President Jacob Zuma, his number 2 Cyril Ramaphosa and the entire NWC. Earlier, the stalwarts called for the ANC's NEC to step down and convene an early elective Congress. They wrote a letter to the ANC requesting the meeting and were told they have to meet with the party structures. But former President Thabo Mbeki intervened in a separate letter to President Zuma and the meeting was granted. Among those attending the meeting are Dennis Goldberg, Ahmed Kathrada, former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel and the Pahad brothers Aziz and Esop. While earlier we spoke to SABC acting political editor Sophie Mokoena on the matter, this is how it went.
What kind of results are we expecting from this meeting?
Well, I don't think they will be made public, but I guess the two parties will meet and discuss, and it's going to be a robust discussion because both parties agree that they have to really be frank in terms of the challenges the ANC is facing currently. And I expect President Zuma also to be able to talk about what has been his concerns, but also the veterans also talking about their concerns. That includes the outcome of the Constitutional Court against the president, the issue of how the party performed during the local government elections, and many other issues, and also perhaps making a request or a proposal that the ANC must have a consultative conference or early elective conference. But you heard earlier on the spokesperson of the ANC has dismissed this.
Yeah, with that said, I mean, that elective conference for 2017, what kind of impact do we expect all of this to have on that?
Well, it will be very difficult to organize because if you don't find a way to manage the tensions before the elective conference, they play themselves out in the public, as we have seen the past few days. You saw the president in KZN quite frank how he feels and speaking in his own mother tongue. He was very, very robust. That reminds me when he started his campaign after 2005, when he was relieved from his duties as the deputy president of the country. He launched that campaign to go to different constituencies and provinces to explain his side of a story, but also to say, guys, I'm ready, I want to take over. And now the other parties also this time around are saying, yes, we have these challenges, we see things differently, and let's look at other options in terms of ensuring that we find one another. But these are the issues of concern. If they don't resolve these problems before 2017, that is the ANC elective conference in December, we are likely going to see a similar problem that played itself in 2007 when President Zuma was elected as the ANC president, where the party was divided and it ended up in a situation where there was a breakaway party coup. Later on, again, more tensions. We saw the formation of the EFF after the young cadres in the ANC were expelled. Therefore, and that has affected the party's performance. You saw what happened in 2000 and now in 2016 yes. Local government election, because you can't have a situation where continuously there's this breakaway, there's this group that is not happy, because for you to perform better as an organization or the leader to give better results in terms of performance of the election, you must have a united force. And you'd recall that the previous elections, ANC did very well. At some point in time, it had a 2/3 majority yes. because they were united. But since the divisions and the tensions, the party is constantly losing support base.
We've got to run out of time, but I really need to ask you this, because we also know that COSATU is also holding its Central Executive Committee meeting right now. Can you give us in a minute or less what is on the agenda there?
Well, the Central Committee meeting of the COSAT, which is the biggest workers' federation currently, they are also discussing issues related to workers. But of course, the current tension in the alliance will be high on the agenda. And you are aware that many affiliates have already made their own pronouncement in terms of how ANC can heal itself. Some suggesting that President Zuma must leave office, others saying no, he must continue. So it remains to be seen whether this meeting come Wednesday, whether they would have found one another, but also they will ensure that they come out there with a united voice. Because if the alliance itself, its components are not united, there's no way the ANC will do well. It will definitely affect them come 2019.